usually do it.
Dolo, la concupiscite. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. Exultate Deo adiutori nostro, jubilate Deo Jacob. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Quasimodo geniti infantes, alleluia, rationabiles sine dolo. La concupiscite. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie
Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Et intera pax hominibus bone voluntatis loramus te, benedicimus te, adoramus te, glorificamus te, gratias agimus tibi, propter magnam gloriam tuam, Domine Deus Rex Celestis, Deus Mater omnipotent, Domine Filii unigenite, Iesu Christe, Domine Deus Agnus Dei, Filius Patris, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis, qui tollis peccata mundi, suscipe deprectationem nostra, qui sedes ad dexteram Patris, miserere nobis, boniam tu solus sanctus, tu solus Dominus, tu solus Altissimus, Iesu Christe, cum Sancto Spiritu, in gloria Dei Patris. Amen.
Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritu tuo,
oremus. Presta quesmus omnipotens Deus, ut qui Pascalia festa per regimus, ecte largiente, moribus et vita teneamus, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Lectio Epistolae Beati Ioannis Apostoli. Carissimi, omne quod natum est ex Deo vincit mundum, et haec est victoria, quae vincit mundum fides nostra. Quis est qui vincit mundum, nisi qui credit quoniam Iesus est Filius Dei. Hic est qui venit per aquam et sanguinem Iesus Christus, non in aqua sola, sed in aqua et sanguine. Et Spiritus est qui testificator quoniam Christus est veritas. Quoniam tres sunt, qui testimonium dant in cielo, Pater, Verbum et Spiritus Sanctus, et hi tres unum sunt. Et tres sunt, qui testimonium dant in terra, Spiritus et aqua et sanguis, et hi tres unum sunt. Si testimonium hominum accipimus, testimonium Dei maius est. Quoniam hoc est testimonium Dei, quod maius est, quoniam testificatus est de Filio suo, qui credit in Filium Dei, habet testimonium Dei in se.
Alleluia. In die resurrectionis me, dici Dominum, Lecedam vos in Post dies octo Januis clausi, stetit Iesus in medio discipulorum suo. et dixit pax Alleluia.
Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritu tuo,
sequentia Sancti Evangelii secundum Ioannem.
gloria tibi, Domine.
In illo tempore, cum sero est die illum, une Sabbatorum, et fores est in clause, ubi eram discipuli congregati propter metum iureorum, venit Iesus, et stetit in medio, et dixit eis, pax vobis. Et cum hoc dixisse, ostendit eius manus et latus. Aviesi sunt ergo discipuli, viso Domino. Dixit ergo eis iterus, et cum dixisse insufflavit, et dixit eis, accipite Spiritum Sanctum, quorum remiseritis peccata remittutur eis, et quorum itinueritis retenta sunt. Domus autem unus ex duodecem, qui digitor didimus, non erat cum eis quando venit Iesus. Dixerunt ergo ei alia discipuli, vidimus Dominum. Ille autem dixit eis, nisi videro in manibus eius vixoram clavorum, ermitam digitum meum in locum clavorum, ermitam manum meum in latus eius, non credam. Et post dies octo, iterum erant discipuli eius indus, et Thomas cum eis. Venit Iesus Januis clausis, et stetit in medio, et dixit, pax vobis. Deinde dicit Tome, infer digitum tuum hoc, et vide manus meas, et affer manum tuum, et non mite in latus meum. Et nulli esse incredulus sed fidelis. Respondit Thomas et dixit ei, Dominus meus et Deus meus. Dixit ei Iesus, qui vidisti me Thoma credidisti, beati qui non viderunt et crediterunt. Multa quidem et alia signa facit Iesus in conspectu discipulorum suorum, quae non sunt scripta in libro hoc. Ec autem scripta sunt, ut credatis, quia Iesus est Christus filius Dei, et ut credentes, vitam habeatis in nomine eius.
This Mass is offered for the repose of the soul of Florinda Fernandez. And a welcome to all those members and friends of the Cathedral Parish joining us remotely here this afternoon on this Dominican Albis, this Low Sunday, this Divine Mercy Sunday, and other names that are associated with it. As we continue, as we have been for this past week, the great celebration and the way that we are celebrating the resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ and Easter. And then as we transition from the octave and move toward the Easter season, moving then to the celebration of different saints and just Easter ferias, we have today, among other days, the octave day of Easter, presenting us with this dear, special, beautiful gospel passage from St. John. Before going into that, just an announcement about later this afternoon for those who wish to come and pray in St. Augustine Cathedral. Even though we're in St. Patrick Church right now, and St. Augustine Cathedral will be open later, beginning about 4 o'clock. The doors will open in both English and Spanish, conclude with benediction at about 5:55 p.m., then pray the Regina Caeli at 6 o'clock, and then I will recite Vespers from the Breviary. For those who wish to join in and follow along can do so, as that text is available on the website, the Latin text with the English or Spanish translations from the Breviary, praying this Vespers. So that's for later. And again, that is open to the public for those who wish to come and pray in person at the cathedral later. It will also be live streamed. If you scroll down the Cathedral Parish daily schedule page a little bit, find the video embedded on that website. Now returning to this marvelous scene and story today. And to see it as a story, I don't mean to dismiss it as non-historical, but rather just calling a story an historical event, something that did in fact take place, but something to recall as St. John is presented to us, as then he then goes into his motivation of what is presented in his gospel. That there are many things that are not included, and in our own prayer and reflection, we could speculate about what those things might have been. We can watch movies that bring various speculations to those acts and words of the Lord Jesus. We can read different accounts or some of the apocryphal gospels that are written much later, but still can speculate on these things. But with what is presented today, we need not speculate, for St. John presents it very clearly. And for those of us who are visual and want to go beyond the words, I've presented on the Cathedral Parish website, both in a link above the embedded video and also on the main page in the first slide of the slideshow or below the schedule, Caravaggio's masterpiece of the incredulity, the unbelief of St. Thomas. And I happen to be a big fan of Caravaggio's works, as I imagine a number of those who are watching at this moment are as well. Caravaggio brings in visual form the realism and maybe some touch of speculation to this moment. What I particularly like about Caravaggio's piece is the contact that is made between Thomas and the Lord Jesus. And while the words here don't tell us it actually happened, as the Lord Jesus tells Thomas to do it, but we're not told that he actually does, so there's that element of speculation there as well. And lest it just be brushing along or brushing against his side, his hand is in there. And in this marvelous way, Caravaggio shows even the skin of the Lord Jesus resting upon the tips of the fingers of Thomas. It's a very real moment in what this painter presents. And that can bring us to this moment with two particular instances. The first is the reality, the historical event, the fact, and the real presence of the Lord Jesus in the midst of his apostles. That while in recent decades or even centuries, that has been called into question and various proposals have been floated, such as the presence of Jesus being nothing more than a thought, a warm feeling of, do you feel him among us kind of thing. The passage today from St. John sets that aside. And while the apostles are gathered behind the doors, which are closed or locked, the Lord Jesus appears in the midst of them. He is really and truly there, albeit with a new body that does things maybe a bit differently than before. But it is him in the flesh, as seen with the marks of his hands, his side, and his feet. The painting that Caravaggio then, which tries to bring home this reality that in other stories and passages from the Gospels are brought home from the Lord Jesus eating with his apostles, for example, is that reality of Thomas touching the body, the resurrected body of the Lord Jesus. He is real and he is alive. And this makes all the difference and why the faith spreads. The second element from this story, this passage from St. John today, is perhaps some gratitude that we can offer for the shortcoming of Thomas. And what is depicted in a smaller way, which we believe as one of the essential elements of our faith and brings us back to last weekend. And that how time and time again, the Lord can and does bring good out of bad, bring good out of evil. In this case, it's Thomas's doubt, questioning, disbelief, or denial that then allows for this to take place. To enter into that speculation, would something like this have happened if there weren't a Thomas to have been absent? A Thomas to say, unless I do this, I will not believe. And the Lord Jesus calls him out on it and says to Thomas, this is what you wanted? Here you go. And because of that weakness of Thomas, that doubt of Thomas, the disbelief, denial of Thomas, something that is not good, to go ahead and say, I don't believe in the Lord Jesus, nor do I believe he's risen. It's not a good statement to make. And yet, look what happens. We have this today to contemplate. We have this event and moment to be presented visually through the arts, such as with Caravaggio. And we then are allowed to benefit from the words spoken by the Lord Jesus about us that can continue to challenge us when we enter into those moments or longer periods of time like Thomas, so that we may hear them again to include us once more. Blessed are those who have not seen and who have believed. For we have not seen the Lord Jesus in the same way that Thomas and the apostles and those first disciples did see him, walking upon this earth, speaking, healing, teaching. We do not have him in that same exact way. And so the Lord Jesus then can speak these words because of Thomas about us. Blessed are those who have not seen and who have believed. In those moments then, when perhaps we wonder, call things into question, doubt, or dabble with denial, to hear those words yet again, and to grow in that desire to be included in that group of which the Lord Jesus speaks. Blessed are those who have not seen and who have believed.
Credo in unum Deo.
Pacem omnipotentem, factorem celi et terre, visibili et invisibilium, et in unum Dominum Iesum Christum, Filium Dei unigenitum, et ex Patre natum, ante omnia saecula, Deum de Deo lumen de lumine, Deum verum de Deo verum, genitum non factum, consubstantialem Patri, per quem omnia facta sum, qui propter nos homines, et propter nostrum salutem, descendit de celis, et incarnatus est de Spiritus Sancto, ex Maria Virgine, et homo factus est. Crucifixus et siam pro nobis, suppansio Pilato, passus et sepultus est, et resurrexit tertia die, secundum scripturas, et ascendit in caelum, sederat dexteram Patris, et iterum venturus est cum gloria, judicare vivos et mortuos, cuius regnare erit finis, et in Spiritum Sanctum Dominum, et dirigicantem, qui ex Patre Filioque procedit, qui cum Patre et Filio simul adoratur, et conglorificatur, qui locutus est per profetas, et unam sanctam catholicam, et apostolicam ecclesiam, confiteorum baptisma, in remissionem peccatorum, et expecto resurrectionem mortuorum, et vitam venturis seculi.
Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritu tuo,
oremus.
Angelum Domini descendit, et dixit mulieribus, quemque Surexit. Sicut dixit. Alleluia.
Discipulus ostantibus, in medios et Christus, Icens vox vobis omnibus. Alleluia. 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 Ut intellens intidimus, quia surrexerat Iesus, remansit vere Dominus. Alleluia. 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 Vide Thomas intelatus, vide pedes, vide manus, doliesse incredumus. Alleluia. 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 Quando Thomas Christi natus, pedes vitit ad premonus, dixit tu es Deus meus. Alleluia. 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 Beati qui non viderunt, et imiter crediderunt, vitam aeternam haberunt. Alleluia. 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 Alleluia.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Sursum corda.
Habemus ad Dominum.
Gratias agamus Domino Deo nostro.
Ignum et lustrum est.
Are dignum et justum est, tecum et salutare, te quidem Domine omni tempore, sed in hoc potissimum gloriosius predicare, cum Pascha nostrum immolatus est Christus. Ipse enim verus est agnus, qui abstulit peccata mundi, qui mortem nostra moriendo destruxit, et vitam resurgendo reparavit, et ideum cum angelis et archangelis, cum tronis et dominationibus, cumque omni malitia celestis exercitus, in glorie tuae canimus Sina fina de chantas.
Sanctus, Sanctus, Dominus Deus Sabaoth. Veni sunt caeli et terra, gloria tua, Hosanna in excelsis. Benedictus qui venit in nomine Domini, Hosanna in excelsis.
Nobis quoque peccatoribus. et omnia saecula saeculorum. Oremus, preceptis autoribus moneti, et divina institutione formati, audemus dicere, Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et imite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem,
et libera nos a malo.
et omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Pax Domini sit semper vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei.
Domine non sum Deus. Domine non sum Deus. Domine non sum Deus.
Dona nobis pace.
Ecce agnus Dei, ecce que tollit peccata mundi. Domine non sum dignus in interesse in peccatum, Beton verbos analogon. Domine nos dignus et interest reflectum. Beton verbos analogon. Domine nos dignus et interest reflectum. Beton verbos analogon.
Ite manum tua, et cognosce loco clavorum. Alleluia. Et noli esse incredulus, sed fidelis. Alleluia, alleluia.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Oremus. Quesmus Domine Deus noster, ut sacros sancta mysteria, quae pro reparationis nostrae munimine contulisti, et presens nobis remedium esse facias et futurum, et Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo. Deo
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus,
Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
Regina Caeli,
We are Christi portare, blessed Christi, Christi, Alleluia.